What up? What up? What up? It's your man, Boss Gang VIP with the weekly money watch. Man, I am excited to be here as usual. This is going to be a little something different this week, something very, very special, and I am excited for it. If you're here for a reason. Before we get started, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel so you can get the updates as soon as they drop. Also, make sure if to put any questions or comments you might have below the video, and I'll try to respond to those as soon as possible. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a special video. I am actually going to do a breakdown of the trading strategy that I use when I'm coming up with these watch lists. A lot of people know I use a trading strategy called the strat. So a lot of people understand the strat. They've learned the strat. Um, and they come to the channel and they already pretty much know what to do. Even the people who have never traded with me before, they can use the videos to get some really good ideas, right? But I'm actually going to show you how I do things. So someone suggested a while ago, they said you should do a video called "Trading the Strat" like Boss Gang VIP. So this is going to be that video. I may do another video, but for the people who are subscribed to the channel and do watch these videos on a regular basis, you're definitely going to be rewarded today. I'm going to break a lot of things down. So make sure you're very, very comfortable. If there's ever anything that you don't understand, please make sure to take some notes. Use Chat GPT to get the definitions of some of the things that I'm saying. I like to have high level conversations, but I like to break it down so anyone can understand it, right? So, um, maybe you've been trading for a long time, maybe you're new to trading, whatever level you're on. I believe I'm the best at what I do, and I am going to give you the cheat codes to how to get super how high ROI returns whenever you make an investment in a stock or even an options trade, right? As you can see, what does the logo say? It says buy low, sell high. That's what I am known for. I have a song called Buy Low, Sell High. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. And that's what I do. That's what I do. Um, if you actually understand how the stock market works, you understand you can buy stocks for really, really cheap. Um, when I say cheap, not the quality of the stock, but it's literally cheap in price, right? Cheap in price, cheap in value, and you can take advantage of moves that occur very, very quickly when things are cheap. A quick example: if I were to say a 2 liter bottle of Coke is, I don't know, $2.50 at the local convenience store, um, would they sell? Yeah, they're going to sell, and the Coke truck is going to continue to come and fill up the shelves because at $2.50 for a 2 liter, they're going to sell. We know the product has high margin. They sell this at baseball games and restaurants and every place you go. Now, if the price for those 2 liters were dropped down to 50 cent, well, what would happen? You'd have people coming there very quickly. You'd have mom and pop shops. You'd have a lot of people come and clear off the shelves, right? You couldn't get those off the shelf. Now, what would happen is some people will be happy with selling their Coke for $1 per bottle because they got it for 50 cents per bottle and they're going to make 100%. they're going to immediately turn around and somebody's going to be willing to pay $1 because they know it's worth 250 and they're not going to argue about the price. This is how I like to look at stocks. When you get things at a value, people are going to buy them up because simply they're a really good deal. And when I say a really good deal, not a good deal in my opinion, a good deal in the price on the charts. How do you know that? I'm going to break all that down today. I hope you're ready. But before I do that, I'm going to start off like I always do and get into the Roth IRA, give you guys the latest update. As you can see, everything is going absolutely according to plan. So if you know anybody who's um, just getting started in investing, or somebody who's been investing but haven't been getting the results that they want to get, make sure to refer them to the channel so we can get them going in the right direction. Let's get into the economics calendar for the week. Monday, October 7th. His Fed Governor Michelle Bowman speaks. St. Louis Fed President. Tuesday, more Fed speak, U.S. trade deficit. Wednesday, more Fed speak, wholesale inventories. We have Vice Chair speaking minutes for September. That's going to be a talking point. And more Fed speak. Thursday, jobless claims, consumer price index, core CPI year over year. So people are going to be interested in that. And then Friday, we have producer price index, core PPI year over year, consumer sentiment, and uh, more Fed speak. Monday, October 14, Columbus Day holiday. Bond market is closed. And then at the end of the week, we have Yom Kippur on Saturday, the 12th. So keep that in mind for the sale Rosh Hashanah by Yom Kippur, people. We'll see how that goes. Let's get into the almanac for the week before we get into this breakdown. Monday, the 7th, historically bearish day in the market overall. But, as we could see, the market has been strong overall. So we just play the price action as we see it. October 2011, second Dow month to gain 1,000 points. Wednesday, overall bullish for the most part. So Monday and Tuesday, maybe some downward sideways action. It's really just going to depend on the stocks that you're in. Wednesday, market looks to be mixed, or Thursday, the market looks to be mixed. Wednesday, more bullish than not. Dow lost 18.2%, or 1,874 points on the week ending 10/10/2008. Worst Dow week in the history of Wall Street. Will that repeat itself? Let's hope not. Let's hope not. But overall, Thursday, mixed market, and going into the weekend, setting up for a bullish overall second or not the second, for setting up for a really good October run. So we'll see if all of those things play out. So here, let's get into what we've been waiting for. Normally on these watch lists, I might have, let me get it full screen. Let me get it full screen. Normally on my watch list, I'll have, maybe 3 tickers, right? But this, I'm going to actually do this a little different. I'm just going to focus on one ticker right now. And I'm actually going to do a breakdown. As you can see, I have 4 charts up on my screen and everything is completely blank. One of the things I want people to realize, and I did a video about this, if you guys want to search my channel, I said people look at these stocks wrong. What you need to do to find the best plays is you actually need to take a top-down approach. I'm simply going to focus on the price action, and you'll be actually amazed at the things I'll show you by the end of the video. Of course, I'm using Thinkorswim platform. As you can see, I have multiple time frames up. I have a year, a quarter, a month, and a week. Normally on the watch list, I don't have the year up, but I do refer to the year. Typically, I'll already know, but I just want to keep it simple for people. But I'm going to show you how to break this down the right way. And by the time I get to the end of this video, you're going to be completely amazed. And the thing about this is, I want to know how to buy low, sell high, right? So, whether I'm a share investor or whether I'm somebody who wants to take advantage of options, a lot of people say I'm at work and I can't trade, and they believe they have to be in front of the screen every single day. That's not how institutions work. You have to have a target, you have to have a goal, right? So you have to know where you're going to get in and where you're going to get out, right? So the problem with trading is that most people don't know when to get in a trade and they don't know when to get out of a trade. Well, the system that I use is a strat created by Rob Smith. If you know, you know. Rest in peace to him. He was a share trader, and I'm not going to get all into his background, but maybe I will, but just not in this video for the sake of time. I can go on and on and on, but for the sake of time, I'm not going to get into that. If anybody wants to put anything about Rob Smith in the comments, please put those uh, in the comments below. But yeah, we developed a pretty good relationship, and I believe we had a similar energy in that we just really wanted to help a lot of people, right? So um, when I came into this kind of like uh, options trading game, what I realized is that people weren't taking advantage of the opportunities that were in front of them because they always thought short term. It was always, let's wait until one line crosses another line. And then if the line doesn't work, then we get a stop loss and we lose our money, and we'll keep trying to get 10 and 20 and 30%. And if you see green, take green, and there's just all this kind of, you know, speaking, all these speaking points and rhetoric that goes around, and it's all based off scarcity and a lack of understanding. What I want you guys to do is have an understanding of how this works. Our goal is to buy low, sell high. We have to know when to get in and when to get out. All we have to do is figure out where stock is going to go over what period of time and how we can take advantage of it. I know that sounds absolutely crazy, but it's very, very simple. And I'm going to show you how to do it right now. Let me go ahead. I'm going to start with one screen. And what I want you to do, what I'm going to need you to do as we get into this is I want you to come into this with a fresh mind and forget everything that you've ever learned. If something you've learned may apply later, we'll see. But I don't think there's anybody who gets um, better results than I do. I'll give an example. I'll give an example before we get started. You see this BMY right here? In our private Discord, alphapacktrading.com, if you want to check that out. In our private Discord, I alerted the some contracts for BMY. Now, I want you guys to realize I put BMY on the watch list as well. So I don't even think you guys realize, and I'm going to show you how I can do this. We put BMY on the watch list. Let me zoom back out. Right, it was a 2 week above 41.95, and this is public, right? This is all public information, and that's why I do this, right? And I'm going to show you how I do this process. And 41.95, we were able to get January $60 contracts for 19 cents a piece, and those contracts are well over 500%. Those are potential to turn 19 cents into $1,200. I actually alerted these to the people in the Discord. It's actually written down, documented, and there's a lot of people in these trades right now. So I'm going to show you how to try to take advantage of these moves. If BMY were to hit $88 by the end of the year, would you be surprised? I wouldn't, but we'll see what happens. Not that it will, but again, we have our targets, right? So yeah, I said what I said. I said 19 cents to $1,200 per contract, currently up about 500% on these, right? So If you're interested in learning how to do things like this and get these reversals, these are same ones that I put on the watch list, the entries, but you just don't know how to take advantage of things that are reversing directions, right? And if you find things that are reversing directions, at that point, you don't have anything to do, right? You just sit back, you cross your arms, and you use the stock market as your personal ATM. But where I'm from Compton, they say we could show you better than we can tell you. All right, let's check it out. So we got to start with the year time frame, right? Always. And so the way this track goes, we use a series of candles, one, twos, and threes. The two is a candle that takes out one side of the range, but not the other, whether red or green, right? So this candle obviously is the first candle, it's up. So we'll just call this a two up. This candle goes down, so two down, takes out this level. This candle here takes out this level, two down there. Let me mark that price level just so you can see it. So we took out that 1278, went to 1243. You guys see that right there? Okay. And I'm actually just going to leave it up real quick, just so you guys can kind of see that level as we go across these charts. Now, the one thing I want you to notice is the low that you see on this chart relative to the current price. So the low on this chart is $12.43. The current price is $24.15. This is approaching 100% on the underlying from the previous year. So what you got to understand is when you invest, you have to think about price action over time. So a lot of people will see this red candle in this red price action, and as it's pushing down, they become nervous. They think there's something wrong. It's because they're thinking about things very, very short term and they don't actually know the levels. What you have to realize is this stock has went down and then it's went up and made a higher low, right? It went two up, it took out one side, it went two up, and it had corrective activity. On the macro time frames, you're going to have macro corrective activity. And I'll do more breakdowns about this over time. But as I'm going through this, I want you to focus. If you really want to find a reversal, the key to finding a reversal is you have to find something that's red that's going to turn green. At this point, when this stock is $12.43, is this candle red or green? When the candle is $12.43, this candle is actually red. But what happened to the candle? The stock got bought up and the candle turned green. You make money if you can find things that are red and turn green. The problem with people is they buy high and things start to go red. They wait until it goes all the way up here, turns green, it goes red, and they sell it. Well, guess what? I want to buy these before they go back green. This particular stock we're looking at, Sentinel One, will go green very, very quickly. Now, this process I'm going through is just, it works for any stock, but let's just get into some fundamentals for the stock. Sentinel One, it operates cybersecurity as a cybersecurity provider in the United States and internationally. Delivers on artificial intelligence powered autonomous threat prevention. I'm not going to get into everything. It's a tech company. But just so you guys can know about it, Mountain View, California. Got the address. You got the website. It's I'll pull that over for you guys at the Sentinel One website here, right? So if you ever want to see a company, that's why I kind of like Thinkorswim, but there's a lot of platforms you can look at, but this is Sentinel One, the website. Pretty cool, right? All right. So, and also let me scroll down so you guys can kind of check out some of the data and whatnot on these. But nevertheless, let's just get into these charts. So we're going to look at this macro. So this looks like an opportunity. This had a high of 78.53. Push down. We want to see if we can get this to reverse back up, right? So on this, what I'm trying to do initially is find broadening formations. How do I find broadening formations? I am looking for outside candles. What are outside candles? They're known as the three candles. But on this chart, looking at the year, there are no outside candles on the year. So I'm literally going to go time frame for time frame. And let's go to let me maximize this quarter. All right, now I'm going to find these outside bars. What is an outside bar? A candle that takes out the low and the high of the previous candle. And it's also evidence of a broadening formation on a lower time frame, right? So if I look at this quarter, right, it's an outside bar. But if I were to go to a lower time frame, you'd see the price action that's inside of this bar. So let's go ahead and start off by drawing broadening formations. What I want people to do is not think. I am going to give you the process, and I just simply want you to follow the process. Do what I'm doing. I don't want you to think about anything. Just do what I'm doing. I want you to trace my art. I remember when I was in elementary school, I was drawing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for money. I learned how to draw them because I had the comic books, and then I had the tracing paper, and then I would trace the Ninja Turtles. I used to love Ninja Turtles. Eventually, I could draw Ninja Turtles without tracing. I want you guys to follow the example that I'm doing right now. Literally, when I tell you what to do, as I'm showing you this process, I want you to literally do what I'm doing. Not some of it, not part of it. Literally. I'm going to give you guys the cheat code. This is how to trade the strat like Boss Gang VIP, Alpha Pack strat. I need you guys to focus, pay attention, and do exactly what I'm doing. Give me 1 second. I've been yapping. My mouth is dry. Let me get a drink of this liquid death real quick. Now, one thing about going through processes is that the people who tend to be really good at it, and veterans at anything in life, they really pay attention to the details. Whereas the people who are not as successful, not as mature, not as experienced, tend to take shortcuts, and they like to tell you things that you don't need to do. What I'm going to do is show you how to get the results that I get. I like to let the results speak and not people's opinions and thoughts, right? So I'm going to show you how to get the results. If you do what I'm doing, it doesn't matter if it's your first day or you've been doing this for a decade. I'm going to show you how to get the best results right now. Absolutely right now. On the next time frame, what do we have? An inside candle, right? So this is the quarter time frame, Sentinel one. We got an inside candle. What is an inside candle? A candle that is inside the highs and lows of the previous candle, right? It's simply that. Is a two candle, right? So a two candle took out the high side of the previous candle. The next candle is currently inside. Now, if you look at this candle, you'll see where we reversed off these lows at 1253. We got corrective activity, right? So higher low, higher low. Now, if I'm saying corrective activity and you don't know what that is, you can Google that, you can chat GPT that. If I say higher low and you don't know what that is, you can chat GPT that. If I say lower high and you don't know what that is, you can chat GPT that, right? So take advantage of the tech. So just because you don't know something, it doesn't mean what I'm saying is difficult or complicated. You just don't know it, right? It's just you don't know it. And it's simply that, right? So I'm going to keep this simple. There are some complicated things I can show you, not even complicated, more advanced technique, but I'm going to keep this very, very simple for you guys, right? So um, let's draw some broadening formations, right? So we see this quarter is green. Well, when would the year turn green? So we saw how, it wouldn't take much um, for the year to turn green, right? So when we look at the time frame, multi-time frame analysis, what we're trying to figure out is who's in control uh, by looking at multiple time frames and what's the likely scenario to happen next, right? Because there's only three scenarios. A stock can go up, a stock can go down, or a stock can go sideways, right? So let's break this down. When I look at charts, I'm looking for higher highs and lower lows, and I see some things that are really standing out to me. Um, there are things called broadening formations that we draw that help allow us to see the magnitude, right? So without getting into compound broadening formations and things like that, I'm going to keep this really simple. And I'm actually going to color code this. I'm going to make this blue color here. I'm just going to mark these off, right? So I'm connecting the high of this three to the previous candle, right? So I just want to know what are the highs and lows of that price range and kind of like where are we actually uh trading relative to the highs and lows, right? So I just want to keep going across and then see how many we can find. So here we have another one here. And I'm just going to connect this here. And you can kind of see where we are, right? And here we don't really have anything to go by because this was an IPO, but we'll kind of see what this looks like way up in the sky. So this number is 440. I want you guys to mark that number down. Let's just say 440. Mark this number down. 440. Okay. Are you guys having fun yet? All right. You guys having fun yet? Let's keep it going. All right. So I'm gonna pull this back out, and I can switch the time frame. I know that people are probably wondering like, why are they not just switching the time frame? I don't know. Thinkorswim gets crazy sometimes, so I want to make sure I can keep things going nice and smoothly. All right. So, oh, you know what? This is what I'm gonna do. I messed up. I messed up, and I'll tell you why. Because I didn't change the colors. So let me go back and change the colors. Oops. We'll only take a second. Oh, there we go. I knew I was going to do that. Okay. Yeah, let's see. If I could do it. All right. It did what I didn't want it to do. All right. Well, let's just do this. Now you guys know why was he doing that? You just found out why. Okay. Whatever. We still got the quarters, so I'm going to change the colors of these, and then I'll fix it back when I need to. Mm. Mhm. Yeah, so because these are on the quarterly, I'm going to make these yellow, right? All right. So let's go to the monthly time frame. And again, this is a process. A lot of people think you don't have to do this, but yeah, we're just gonna let the results speak for themselves, right? So now we're gonna do the same thing on this monthly time frame. So and it literally it wouldn't matter what the stock is. It wouldn't matter if you're trading crypto or forex. It wouldn't matter. The process is just literally just figuring out the price action. As you could see, I'm just connecting this outside bar to the previous candles, so I can get an idea just kinda how price moves and where to get in and where to get out. And this is literally how you do it. I know it seems very, very, simple, but it's supposed to be simple, right? It's not supposed to be some complicated thing. It's always said that if you can take something that's supposed to be complicated and make it simple, that's a sign of a genius, and Rob Smith was really, really able to do that, right? So just based on this, you can kind of see we have quarterly and monthly broadening formations. Now, let's kind of just see, zoom out and just kind of see what this looks like and what the potential is. Now, you can kind of see the areas of price action, and what you want to look for is the gaps that you have in price action, right, between these broadening formations. And so if you notice, there's a lot of broadening formations down here, right? And there's a couple broadening formations up here. If you notice here, there's a big gap. And if you traded the strat with me before and you understand my thought process and how this works, you understand what we're thinking, right? Yeah. Yeah. You understand that there's a lot of potential opportunity there. Where's the areas of consolidation going to be? Potential areas of consolidation all the way up to $75. And, there's this thing called price expands over time, price discovery expands over time, right? So the more time passes, the higher the levels that this brought information will go over time, right? Um, so we look at this and we see, man, uh, that's a lot of crazy opportunities, but there are things that maybe, can slow it up, right? So I believe there's going to be accumulation of this stock and it's going to trade up and down within its range up to about the $73 range. Again, remember, it's currently the current low is $12.43, and it's already approaching up 100% off of that low with a lot of room to go. Let me go to a lower time frame. Now we can do the same thing with these broadening formations, with the week and so forth. But for the sake of clarity and time, I'm going to just have a quick look at this chart, right? So simply here, I look at this price action. I say we have quarterly broadening formation, two monthlies, and then large gaps in price action. And this is what I can see by looking at the lower time frames. Let's go to a daytime frame so you can kind of see even with more clarity where we are in this price action, right? So as you can see, we reversed here off of this broad information here. We came up, hit this quarterly, came down, hit a 50%. I'm not going to get into how that price action works. Maybe I will in a different video. But as you can see, it's still going up. It didn't actually come down here. And the fib traders will know what I'm saying when I say it's the 50% here. Even people who trade this alpha back strat, you'll know what I mean. Made the next move up, came back, did the same thing here. Eventually, I'm just speaking this because I know it because I've seen it a million times. This is what we do. But we can see on this day, we got this broad information around 25, 27, and 29, right? So when we look at these levels, these are the things that help us actually be able to plan out our options trades. Now, the good thing is we look for these gaps in price action, right? So over $30 is a big giant gap in price action up to about $47.75. So what that means is once it gets through these levels, there is nothing to stop it. And this stock will absolutely fly. What am I saying? This stock will more than likely double within the next uh, few months, within the next year. So I don't know. It's going to go beyond that. It'll be $70 stock, $75 stock, right? But now, if you say, okay, now if I know when to get in and when to get out, now when you say when to get in, well, we look for entries, right? So we understand full time frame continuity and multi time frame analysis. We saw what the year was red and what it would take to turn it back green, right? Right. And then we saw the quarter. So let me just go back to that year chart. You can see what this year chart was looking like, right? To turn it back green, it wouldn't take much, right? Get, about $1.50, maybe something like that. Turn it back green, right? Then we go to we know what the low is, right? So it's off the low, it's a higher low. Then we go to the quarter and we see what this is on the quarter, current quarter, strong green, right? So we reverse off the low, corrective activity, higher low. Remember, went two up, hit the broadening formation, opened up inside here, right? Just below, right? The same broadening formation is below, right? We want to see if this can actually get back through. So the quarter's green, the month, every month has been green, right? Double inside month, right? So what is the inside bar? A candle that has not taken out either the high or the low. It's inside, right? So this is what I guess a lot of people may call a squeeze. There's some I like to say the tighter the squeeze, the bigger the buzz, but we know this has been moving up. We saw it hit this. We saw this broad information here on this month that it hit, and we're continuing to push up. We haven't had a candle finish below 2103 in quite a few months, right? And so what we got to do is get past this broad information here. So I'll show you actually how we get into these contracts, right? So let's just mark down some prices. And I'm actually doing this real time live, right? So this is not something I'm just planned out. This is literally me doing this live. So let's just see what we have here. And we're going to go to the lower time frames to do this, to kind of see some of these targets, what they might be. So I'm down at this day chart. So on the day chart, we're going to look at, let's mark off this price, 25.31. And I'm not going to put this on the chart. We're just going to write this. We're just going to put this. Matter of fact, just put 25.25. Just put 25.25. Let's just do that. Okay. I'm mark 25 and I'm writing this on a piece of paper and I want you guys to write this down. The next number we're going to look at, let's do 27.75. 7.75. Okay. And the next one, and remember, these will go higher over time. The next one, let's go to $29.40. $29.40. And let's go all the way down. And then let's go to the next one at what's this? $47. Let's say $47.50. $47.50. And the next one will go $69. Just say 69. I like that number. All right. And we'll just stop at 69. I won't even go. No, matter of fact, I am going to go. Let's go. Let's do it. 390. Let's go into 390. $390. $390. Let me do that. And then the next one, we'll just say 400. All right. What interests me is this this giant gap here. Now, what are my expectations? Well, if I believe in the company, fundamentally speaking, um, then I'm actually trying to find good quality companies, right, that have a bright future ahead of them, a company that's going to uh, produce earnings, right, ultimately, right, and return value to the shareholders. And I guess this is ultimately what we're looking for, right? And if you believe in a company, what you want to do is have an opportunity to accumulate. So, from a shareholder perspective, this is what's happening, right? So, we see what that 1278, two down on a year level was, right? And we know what the low was. And through this entire period, there's been a lot of consolidation below this quarterly broad information is yellow. What we're looking for is to break out and push. So for the people who watch every week and want the levels for the watch list, I'll go ahead and give you the levels. And for the people who want to stick around, get some more information, I got you. We're gonna keep cooking. For the watch list, let me mark off the level. Sitting to one. I'm on a week time frame. Looking for a reversal. It went two down. Looking for a weekly reversal. $24.18. Want to see if we can get past this consolidation here. Ultimately, have a breakout. The same way price moves down through broad information, if it reverses, it is going to go up. A lot of traders may call this a flag, something like that. But we're just going to keep this very, very simple, right? So this is what you see me doing when I'm on the watch list, and I'm breaking it down, literally showing you how this works. So it says 24.18. We finished at 24.15. So the trigger for entry is very, very close, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create an alert. I can create an alert before it gives the entry, just so I can get in, or not necessarily get in before the trigger. No trigger, no trade, but so that you can monitor it, right? Because stocks can move fast sometimes, right? And so we got 24.18. So I'm going to go 2 week, right? So what does 2 mean? It's going to go a two down, two up on the week time frame, right? Simply that. Two, 2 week, and it is going to be above 24.18. I'm not necessarily going to put that on the uh on the alert, but I will, the alert's just going to flash and go away. But I know what it is. And now what I normally do for you guys is I always put the text alert, right? So, or just the text, not the text alert, but just the text, right? So we have it. And I'm going to type this in right now live. Okay, so let's just do this. Week above $24, $24.18. All right. So I wrote down some numbers. We wrote down some numbers. I hope you guys got those numbers, wrote them down: 22.25, 27.75, 29.40, 47.50, $69, $390, and $400. Now, if that's all you wanted to get the most fire play, then hey, I guess you can take off. But if you want to figure out how we're going to use these numbers, stick around. This could have been like 10 videos, right? But for the people who sign up, I'm going to show you. I can show you better than I could tell you. And by the time this video is over, you're going to be glad you know me. Give me a second. Let me get another drink of this liquid death. I don't know if liquid death is giving me life. Give me a sec. Okay, let's keep this going. So as we can see, most of the candles are green, right? So we got this week green. The month is green, obviously. The only thing that's not green is the year, but we want to see that. We want to see if they can get that to turn green, right? So 1243. 1278 was that 2 down year. We got the higher low here. Now, what we got to do is we have the entries, right? The 2418. Now we have the exits as well. So remember, we broke down those numbers, those targets. Those are exits. These are our roadmaps, right? So depending on the type of trader you are, your risk profile, the type of trade you're trading, type of a trade you're taking, you're going to pick a different target. So some people like to do leaps. Some people want to buy shares. If you want to buy shares, you just get in, buy your shares, and you know, let it do it. Let it do its thing. You know what I'm saying? You don't really have too much to worry about. You want to just, you know, it's solid. Now, but if you're somebody who wants to trade stocks, obviously stocks have an expiration, right? Or stock options. I'm sorry, stock options have an expiration, where owning stocks don't. You can own a stock for the rest of your life and pass them down to your children, whereas stock options, you have to get in and get out in a certain period of time. You want to be profitable. So essentially these broadening formations are the roadmap, right? So when we see outside bars, the outside bars are evidence of a broadening formation or lower time frame. So let's just go back to this month again. I want you guys to see what I'm looking at. When we draw this outside month broadening formation, we can see what the price action is actually doing between these broadening formations on the lower time frame. So if I'm in a month, I can go down to a lower time frame. I can go down to, say, the day, and then I can actually see what the price action is doing inside of that broadening formation, so I can see where I am. So the key to this is, especially with options, we really got to time this up, right? Because we want to make sure we're at the low and we're going to get the best price on these contracts, right? So if you're new to this contract, say, if you don't know what options contracts are, Chat GPT can definitely help you out with that. What are options contracts, right? So we are bullish on this. That means we believe the stock is going to go up, or we're long on the stock, right? I'm long the stock. That means, if you buy shares, you believe it's going to go up. You're long, right? So that, the stock market goes up most of the time. So more times than not. So I'm going to take advantage of that. You can see it's been going up, corrective activity. A lot of people, they don't buy low. They wait till it goes green. They don't have broad information. It turns red. They think it's a scam. It goes back down. Corrective activity. It pushes. They sell it. As soon as they sell, it goes back up, and then they buy it, and it goes back down. Then they sell, and it goes back up, right? Because they don't understand how the price action is trading. But if you just look over time, it's going up, right? So we just have to take advantage of when we get the discounts, and so that's what we were looking at on the week when we see it give a discount here. My thesis is that it's going to shoot all the way to the sky, right? So we got some levels. These are our roadmaps, and we wrote down using the day chart some of these different levels, and I'm going to show you how we can take advantage of that. So let's actually go to the options options chain, and here you can see the last price, net change of the actual stock, the bid ask over the weekend, the volume, good volume, 2.6 million. The open, high, low. You can see the options chain. This does offer weekly contracts. These are weekly. Now, institutions tend to trade monthly, quarterly, yearly, biannual, 6-month contracts, right? And here we have product depth, and I have it on open interest. So we can actually see the total call, 100 volume, 115,000, and the put open interest, you know, 48,000, right? And when I say open volume, it's open interest volume, not necessarily the traded volume for the day, right? So I can let's just say I hover over a contract that says January 15th, or sorry, January 2025 contracts, monthly expiration for the 23 strike. Let me do this. Has 6,600 open interest, almost 68. These right here, I stay away from these. These are hedges, and I'll show you what I mean. Uh, These 42s, that's a hedge, and this 13, that's a hedge, right? So they, you know, both sides. Right. So this is not what I go by to pick, but this is just kind of a quick way to kind of see that there's a lot of open interest and the liquidity as I look at these contracts, pretty solid, right? Pretty solid overall. Now I'm going to take the long term approach first before, and then I'll break this down for the shorter term traders. Now we're gonna go back to this roadmap, and this is kind of giving us a picture over of where we're gonna go over time. Now, as you could see, for each stop, say you're driving on a trip, each exit you go, is gonna have a certain amount of time before you get to it, before you can kind of, maybe have a slowdown, right? So you got to understand where your targets are, and I think this is where people kind of like don't really understand because you have to pick options contract that pick the target, but you have to understand the target and the time, right? So you have to say, how long do I believe this stock is, going to take before it gets to what was the level? I think I gave it the wrong level, like 25 dollars or whatever the level is. Like how long? What did I say? 20. I don't know why I said 22 fee. I think I meant to say 25, 25. Yeah, 25, 25. But how long do I think it's going to get there? Do I think it's going to take 1 week, 2 week? Now, this is just simply how this works. I'll give you a few stats. You guys can double check these, verify me, fact check me. Stock options held over 1 year have a 73% success rate of probability, right? Um, the key to this is to take advantage over time, right? So obviously the share traders are going to win on this stock, and there's really not much to think about, right? The share traders are going to win. Um, People who get the leaps and stuff, they're going to win, right? Do I take advantage of shorter trades? Absolutely. I'm going to show you how to do that. But I want you to understand that the more time you give yourself with a closer strike, um, so for instance, a $25 strike at the money is going to be less risky than a $30 strike, right? A weekly contract is going to be riskier than a 2-year leap at the money, right? So a lot of people may be at work, you can't watch the screens, right? So you need to take advantage of things that are going to move up over time, right? So let's say you got in June, the stock is, $14. You're at work, you can't trade every day, but if you have a contract with time, you don't have to, right? So let's say you were here at 14 and you were like, I'm going to get me a $15 option contract. What would be $24 right now? You'd be looking pretty good, right? So this is what we're looking to do. And for the shorter term traders, I'm going to show you guys how to do this as well. Because I got you. Because some people risky with it. I like to get risky sometimes too. All right. So let's get into these options contract. Typically, I like to, just start off with the higher time frames just to see if there's any opportunities for leaps. Because if I see the stock may go to a crazy, crazy number, then there may be an opportunity, right? So this is January 2027, and we saw some of the numbers that we can potentially get on the chart. So let me go back to the chart so we can see what these numbers are, right? So, numbers up here to 48, right? So the way I look at this is if I believe that by January 2027, it will be, $48. All right, so let's go back here. $35 contract, right? It's around 4.5 right now, right? I can analyze it. Not that I'm going to do that, and I'm not suggesting you do that. We're going to find stuff way better than that. But this is how you look at it in understanding. So if you were at $35 in the contract, and let's say 24, or sorry, let's say, what was the target? Just say $69, right? I'm gonna go to $69, right? So watch this. What I do is I want to know how much money I'm going to make. Right. So I'm going to analyze this. So I'll analyze this, and I'll go to the risk profile. And again, if I'm clicking fast, that's okay. You can rewind. And then I'm going to put the target. Let's see, $69. And this is the analyze tab in Thinkorswim. And I like to do everything at expiration to see if it's worth it. So to go to June, oh, I'm gonna do 47.50. I'm not even gonna do I'm gonna do 47.50, 69. I'm not gonna do that, but I'll change it. All right. So January 2027. Okay. Then I'll do that, and I'll change this one to the 47.50 as well. 0.50. All right. And so if I were to get and this is at 480, right? So if I were to get a January 20 to 27 $35 contract and I paid 480 and it hit 47.50 by expiration, that'd be 160% trade. If it hit $69 by January 2027, it would be a 600% trade, right? Right. So you turn 4,800 and 29,000. But let's just keep doing it. No, I'll break this down. Break it down some more. Let me close this. If you haven't already, please like the video. Subscribe to the channel so I can keep giving you this work. Same process here. Let's just see. We got some people on the 35 here. So this is a little less expensive, January 2026. And we'll keep some of those same targets for now. We'll just analyze the trade. And let's just do the 35. So the January 2026. Oops. What just happened? Oh, wow. It's so high. It's not even showing it. Okay, here we go. It's giving me the combined total. Let me see if there's something wrong. Okay, maybe it's because it's on the weekend, but we'll try a different one. It's saying minus 100%, but obviously it's not minus 100%. But let's try another one. Let's try another one. Maybe I'm doing something. It's late for me, so maybe I'm tripping right now. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping, or maybe I don't know. I'm tripping right now. Am I tripping? I don't know. Let's try another one, right? All right. So we got the January 2026, right? All right. So let's go to January 2025, and we're gonna break these down. And so hopefully the hopefully Thinkorswim doesn't let me down, right? So let's just think about something right here. Just say January 2025, and we want to be pretty conservative, right? So let's just say by January 2025, we believe it can get to, what was the total? We say 2775, right? So how much time is that? That's quite a bit, right? That's quite a bit. So that's 103 days, right? So let's just say we get a 25. Let's just do that. Oh, I'm stupid. Let me go back. You guys are probably like, Boss Gang, I know it's not working. Got the wrong date. Of course it's minus 100%. I'm so it's just please excuse me. I'm tired, guys. Please excuse me. Please excuse me. Okay. So if it were to hit 47.50, that would be a 427% trade. And if it hits $69, that would be a 1,316% trade there on the 35s. Okay, so 420 and 1316 at those targets. Thank you. I had to fix myself. I couldn't, I knew something wasn't right. I was like, what's going on? All right, January 2025. Let's just say we're conservative. We're at the money. We got 103 days. Let's analyze it. We're going to analyze it at 27. We'll do a few of them. We'll do a few of them. We'll do a few of them. And this is how you kind of plan this out. So if you guys are learning something, you know what I'm saying? Make sure to let me know. Say I'm learning. I'm learning. All right, January 2025. Let's do that. January 2025 for these. Okay, and then we'll change the targets. Let's change these to output. I'll do the 4750. Okay, so 47.50. And then I'll do the 2940, 29.40. And then I'll also do the 2775. 7.75. Again, I'm analyzing everything to expiration, meaning that if something were to hit a target before expiration, obviously, you can make a lot more. So what I mean? So as I go down, you'll notice as I change the date, the profit goes up, right? So that's what I mean. So let's go back to what was that? January expiration. Was it the 18th? I believe it was. Okay. So then we say the 2725 or 2775, you bet 25%, 100% at 2940, and then at 4750, 922%. And you can kind of see how we're getting at, right? These different levels, the 4750, remember the like the 2940, the 2775 levels. And it's just as simple as that. We're gonna keep it going. Maybe let's see, what 2 weeks, October 18th. So let's say, you know what? I think this thing is going to take off. And I believe in 2 weeks, this stock is going to hit uh 20, what was it? 25.25. So what we have to do is we have to see if things are worth it. No, matter of fact, because there's more time, I'm going to say the 27.75, just because there's more time. And then I'm going to go and see, you notice it says the 24 and a half, 25. I always suggest going with the at the money, the closest, or even in the money is the safest. But you see, we got, whatever, it's options expiration, whatever, good value. But let's just say 25. All right. So let's just analyze these. Single, and let's obviously change that expiration. So October 18th, 2025. All right. And at if it were to hit, so if the October expiration contract were to hit at 40 cent is the price, were to hit 27.75, that'd be 587%. If it were to hit 29.40, it'd be 1,000% trade there. So, and again, when we look at the actual price on the contracts, and I'll go to it, you can see these are what the spreads are. So let's say, you get a discount, you can get these contracts for 20 cents, something like that, right? Then it's even better for you. Right, it's even better for you. So let's say somebody say, and I'm going through these different contracts because different traders like to trade on different times. And I want to show people what the possibilities are of these different options, just depending on the type of trader you are. Let's just say, okay, so November. Let's say November. Well, we'll use those same targets and we'll just analyze November. All right. And we'll change this expiration here to November. Oops. No, that's right. I forget, COVID messed me up. I did 2024 and for some reason thought I was in the wrong year. Maybe because I get so many leaps or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. All right, but a 25, so at 27.75, that's 146%, right? At 27.75. So if you got a November contract, 25, and it hits 27.75, 146%, 29.40, 285%. If it were to hit 47.50, that'd be amazing. I mean, I'm not guessing on that. I don't go by that. We go we go by probability, right? So obviously 4750 is not very probable. And the higher you go out the money or the higher the expectation. So but the thing about it is, let's say it doesn't go to 2775. What if it goes to 26? Right. You still be profitable, right? But let's keep that 2775 up there because we trade to targets. We don't these are not my personal opinions when I do this. I just do the work and then we kind of just kind of see what happens. So, all right, so let's keep doing this. Let's keep it going. Let's go. Let's say somebody says, "You know what? I'm in it." Now, where can it hit on the week? Maybe you say I want a weekly. Now, with the lower time frames, I draw more broad informations, but just to go give you an example of how the process works. So you get a trigger, and then you say I'm going to get a weekly, and let's see how much you can make if everything goes your way. So October 11th. All right. So let's say you get a trigger. You say, I'm going to get the weekly contract for 35 cent to 24 and a half. Remember, it's not the 25, it's 24 and a half. And it's 35 cent. Um, and it gets to 27.75. That's 828%. Let's go to the next one, see what that one is. Mm, Okay. And so the contracts are what, 20 cent a piece. And if it were to get up 27.75, then you get 1,275%. Now, the thing about it is with the shorter contract, let's say you did get a weekly, then you got to understand the quarterly broad information, right? So let's say it goes to 25 and a quarter, right? So let's do that. Let's just put 25 and a quarter. Then you'd make 25% on that trade. Now, if you happen to get this at the end of the week and this contract went all the way down to 5 cent and then, went to 25 and a quarter, then, you can make a 400, 500% trade. So a lot of times with these shorter term trades, I talk to the members of our trading group actually live. Now, remember I had those targets around $400, 390. So I don't think we got to look at and analyze to those. But let's just see the furthest thing we can do. Furthest thing out, $35. So let's analyze this one again. And let's just see what would happen if it went to one of those higher targets. Just to have a little fun. Just to have a little fun. All right. So let's do this. So 2027, let's head into the future. Let's head into the future. See what it's looking like. They actually have October 2027 contracts. Wow, that's crazy. No, they don't, but it's just showing the date. I'm tripping. All right, here we go. January 2027. Man, that's a long way away. Let's say get to $100. Pay that same 480, 1,254%. Let's go back to the chart so we can see what we're looking like. $30, $70. Just say 100. Now, this may make sense maybe if I go to a higher time frame. Let's go to quarterly. So where's the $100? It's about right here. It's about right there. I'm not going to get into compound broad information too much, but if you know, you know. If you know, you know. Still, if you know, you know. Not going to get into it too much, but if you know, you know. Right. Let's say it gets to 141. Let's do it. 2,000. 100%. You turn 4,800 to 100,000. Now, thing about this is like I've just kind of taken through a process, and I'm sure people may have like a lot of questions, and I get it. I gave you the numbers. I recorded the video. I've taken my time. This is all on record. It is October 6th, 2024, uh, on West Coast time. And I can show you better than I can tell you. If you have questions, put those in the comments below. I want to do more for you guys. I want to show you guys how to do things the right way. I want to get you started on the path to success. Again, like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. If you have any questions, please make sure to let me go. Let me know. I'm so tired. Share the video. Share the video. I'm trying to help as many people. Click if you support the channel, click one of the links in the bio. Anyway, I'm over here yapping. I hope you guys appreciate this. If you have any questions, watch it over and over again. Slow it down. Slow it down. Look up the questions. Be curious. I'm gonna probably get back on camera. There's a lot I want to do for you guys, but hopefully this is helping you guys out. It's Boss Game VIP. How to trade the strat like Boss Game VIP. I'm gonna catch up with y'all next time. I'm out. Peace.